Hello, everyone. I am Yvette Lloyd, host of Life Her podcast. I have an amazing gospel singer, amazing mother, amazing wife. She just everything right now. And she also has an amazing single out called I Decided. And I want you guys to tune in and listen and hear more throughout this interview. But we have Naya Cotton with us today. Hi, Naya.
Hey, I'm so excited, y'all, to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I thanked you already, but thank you once again for allowing me to be here.
Thank you. I
Man,
really appreciate you for being on my show tonight. And we could just talk and help people.
that's
We could
right.
do a lot tonight.
That's right. Absolutely. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes, for sure. So I just want to get into as far as your younger life. And I see that you discovered your voice at the age of 2.
Yeah, so that's what they say, right?
Okay.
I don't remember any of that. Um,
Okay.
I think my memory starts at age 7.
Okay.
Nothing
Okay.
happened before that.
I
Um,
was like, dang, got 2?
Yes, I remember being 2 and just saying, "You know what? This is my life's work." No, it did not happen that way. Yeah, I grew up. I definitely remember singing in the choir growing up, like a lot of people. Heavy in church Monday through Monday, um, and singing in the choir allowed me the sense of community. And then back in the day, they just put you up. We didn't have a whole bunch of options, like kids have these days. You're singing. You're going
Right, right.
yeah, you didn't have a whole bunch of options, and so I found that I enjoyed it and that there seemed to be joy that people got from it, and so since then, I haven't looked back since.
That is amazing. So, can you tell us about your journey into the world of gospel music and what inspired you to become a singer?
I grew up in a musical family. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with Richard Smallwood, but the song Total Praise, it's one of his
Okay.
biggest songs that he has out there. My dad is an original Richard Smallwood singer. So growing
Oh,
up, I grew up in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, or area, as we call it in the DMV. um, he was a Richard Smallwood singer. My mom is a professional drummer, which I thought was at first I didn't think it was cool. Uh-oh, sorry. At first, see, I knew that was gonna happen.
that's
At
okay.
first, I didn't think it was cool. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, your mom is a drummer? Like,
That is dope, though.
it is, it is. And so she's a drummer, my dad's a singer, so I've always been in music. And then I started dance as well. I was in the performing arts as a dancer and then got into theater as well. So they made me do everything, singing, dancing, acting. And then I ended up going to Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC as a dance major because I did not think I was going to get in as a musician or as a singer. I didn't think I was good enough, which is a big part of my journey as well. Um,
Wow.
yeah. So I decided to be a dance major, but I kept singing and then ended up going to Hampton University to major in vocal performance because I didn't think I was going to be good enough to be a professional dancer. So there's always been this not good enough thing in my life, this feeling in my life for being second best. I was the salutatorian of my class, number 2. Always being picked not first, but maybe second or third or fourth or fifth. And then growing up not feeling like I was worthy, but I really did find a voice or find my voice in music and in singing. And yeah, gospel music has always spoken to a greater hope and a journey. I think everybody's searching. It has to be something more than this. It has to be something greater. There has to be for the heavens and the earth and the sun and the moon, all these systems to come into play. We are in the middle of seeing the glory of God, but still on a quest to know him for ourselves. So I've always been on that journey. I'm still on that journey, but gospel music has proven to be like the soundtrack of that journey of faith for me. So it's my favorite music to sing. I've tried to sing other genres. I sound ridiculous because it's just not my route. I enjoy all music, but gospel music is my heart.
Wow. So, you use some self sabotage in there.
Yes. Yes.
You keep like you
There's
saying that you're
some
not good enough or it won't work for you, just something. Like why do you feel that way? Because you are amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, and I will say that it has been a journey, um, where now I'm in the last maybe 7 to 10 years or so. I've turned a corner. I just turned 40, so I think with 40 comes a whole nother level of like, you
It
know what?
does. I
I
just
am who
turned
I am.
40 too.
You did.
Yes.
Something happened. Like
Yes, it did.
like the day. Like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. Like
Yep.
all
It
of this.
like it gives you like no care in the world. Then you
Yes.
just start your body start feeling different. You just like different things you don't tolerate. It's just a whole bunch. I girl, I already know.
Absolutely. It's like I want my peace. Now, I'm not saying that I'm against challenges. Life is going to have challenges, but I get to decide who I want to be. If I agree with, certain things, if I don't agree with, so I have the agency to make those decisions and be okay with the decision that I make. So maybe it's 40, 30 did it a little bit, 40 did it a lot. I'm hyped for 50. Um, but yeah, I've started that journey of just not self-sabotaging, but growing up, I grew up, and my parents are amazing, but I grew up in a performance-based, what I felt, my experience of it, not to say that's what they were trying to do, but a performance-based atmosphere where you get applauded when you do great things, and when you don't
Mhm.
do great things, it's not a whole bunch of attention. So I love the attention of doing something good and not disappointing people. Um, and so that's where I found a lot of my identity in what I did and not in
Okay.
just who I was. But now it's like, no, based on my beliefs, I'm a daughter of God. I'm a child of
Yes.
God. And that alone makes me worthy. Anything extra,
Yes.
it just shows his glory and how dope he is. But I don't have to prove myself to people that I'm worthy. Just me being born, just me being a daughter of God with the plan that he has for my life makes me worthy to walk in and be in any room that I'm invited into. So I don't know, I turned the corner, girl.
That's that's a blessing though, because a lot of people deal with that because I even went through my phase of feeling that way too. But what we need to realize is that we the bomb anyways. We gotta love ourselves and hold our head up high because validation from someone else of we waiting on the applause from them, they probably don't even love themselves either.
Come
but
on.
but they have the time to see our flaws and what we're not good enough for, but at the same time they may not even be good enough and they just want to bring us down because they are down. So
That's
it's
right.
like we got to look at things like way broader than us because we are walking in our own path and own journey. So I'm really happy that you got through those moments and everything and always keep building yourself up because without you, who do you have?
That's right. That's right. And there's a reason, like all of us were created, none of us got ourselves here. We were all created, I believe, by design. And so it's like, listen, I'm going to showcase the glory of God. I tell my kids all the time that our deepest fear quote, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate,
Mhm,
but our
exactly.
deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. But the
Yes,
line that I tell them all the time, when you let your light shine, it gives other people permission to do the same. So don't
yes,
you power and act like you're not good at what you're good at and act like you don't have the answer. I don't care if you know every answer. You're going to get this.
yep,
Yeah, like, but it showcases his glory. It's not for our good. It's not to say how great I am. All of us were born with it. But when you tap into it and acknowledge him in the process, you don't have nothing to be afraid of. I'm learning. I'm still learning.
yes. We're gonna continue to learn until it's our time
That's right. That's exactly right. That's
at
exactly right.
all times. So I've noticed you have a different unique voice. And your voice has like this powerful quality to it. And
Mm.
how do you prepare or maintain your vocal health and deliver so much impactful performances?
Oh, that's a great question. The first thing I had to do was acknowledge that I am a vocalist and a singer. Now, some people will say, well, I kind of, I sing a little bit, or just to kind of put up that barrier so that people don't expect too much. But it's like, no, this is
Right.
a gift. This is a gift. I didn't give it to myself. I couldn't have earned it. This is a gift that was given. And so I have to cultivate it. And in the process of that, what I do and what I teach, because I have a company called the Whole Tone where we teach all of this as well, allowing people to see themselves as vocalists or performers, and then treating your body um, that way. And singing is not just a vocal sport, it's a full body sport. We hear your soul, your trauma,
Yes.
your triumphs, we hear it all. So you have to take care of it all. So therapy is important, as far as developing your voice and figuring out your story. Um, Noticing that you're a vocalist is important, acknowledging that you are. Rest is huge. Usually, when
Ooh,
people go hoarse, school teachers or preachers or singers, people who use their voices often, we'll try to get quick fixes so that we can perform again. How can I do it? My voice is gone. What do I do? Anything that you try to do to push it even more will damage it even more. So rest. You got to go to bed. You got to sleep. Water is important. Tons and tons and tons of water, hydrating yourself. I have so many different tricks. I've had these vocal straws that I warm up with. Um, Teas, herbal teas, nothing with caffeine in it, drinking that all the time, doing vocal exercises, a lot of silly things, really, like, all that stuff early in the morning.
yes.
Different, tips and tricks to kind of keep your vocal health, but it's really being aware that your voice is your instrument. And so you can't spend it on everything that invites you to it. I can't come to every party I'm invited to, or every conversation, or every argument, or it's all energy. So I have to conserve my
Mm,
voice. You're not going to see boxers out there just being crazy with their hands, because that's what they
right.
use. So I have to be mindful of my voice at all times, and try to take care of it as best as I can.
That's good. I saw an interview of you, and your confidence is like through the roof because
Whew.
you went you did something with a strep throat.
I did. You can I'm about to cash app you. I did, which is
I'm like,
not
look at her.
this, but hey, look, let me before people start looking this up on what's the thing called when you look up your ailments online? Strep throat is highly contagious. And so, shout out, I love my mother, but my goodness, homegirl put many people in danger. I had strep throat and I was supposed to sing. I was Dorothy in The Wiz, like my childhood performing arts studios production of The Wiz, and I had strep throat. And I was so dramatic, like, the show must go on, tell them out. I'm coming. Like, it was a lot. It was a lot. I I would not do that to my children now, but I do appreciate, just to look at the glass half full, I do appreciate the work ethic that my mother instilled in me, that there are times when you're not gonna feel it, not to the point of making other people sick. We should not be getting anybody else sick. But there are gonna be times when you don't feel like it. But if I have to perform based on how many times I wanna perform, I would never, because I love being in the bed. Um, so sometimes you have to go against what you feel for the greater good,
Mhm.
still taking care of yourself, not, abusing yourself, but I can't wait until I feel it to do it. Sometimes I have to do it and the feeling will come later.
I already know, girl. Because when I seen that, I'm like, oh, look at her.
That ooh could have been like, "Ooh, go ahead, girl. Ooh, girl, you are contagious." Making the whole place.
Hilarious.
Ooh.
So what do you feel sets gospel music apart from other genres, and like that drew you to this particular style?
We have a message that is ancient and that is still relevant today. We
Yes.
we sing We play, we preach, we communicate the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's the difference between gospel and any other genres. The great thing is within that genre, we can we have a lot of freedom, to explore different styles. So you'll hear rock influences, you'll hear country influences, R&B, hip hop, but the message is always the good news of Jesus Christ. And so that's the differentiation. It is not an exclusive. It doesn't exclude anybody. It invites everybody. So you don't have to be a part of a particular, you know, socioeconomic class or race or any of that.
Yes.
Or background. It's a gathering genre. It's like God died, Jesus died for me, he died for you. I want to tell the world about it. I want you to have as much peace and hope and joy that I have
Girl,
found.
yes.
So it's a genre that uplifts. It seeks to uplift everybody and give everybody hope. So that's why I love it.
That is amazing. So
Mhm.
when gospel music often carries a strong message of faith, hope, and inspiration. How do you choose the themes for your songs and what impact do you hope to have for your listeners?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's according to inspiration as far as the themes for the songs. I try to be aware and listen to just people's testimonies or where I am in my own life. There's a
Yeah.
song that I'm working on now. I won't give too much of it away, but it's very nostalgic. Like, people talk about way back in the day. We didn't have all this technology, that we have now. It seems like we're even more disconnected, even though we have
Yes.
more ways to connect. I'm writing a song about that now. And so it's just personal experiences, life experiences. Um, and the impact, I just want people to find themselves. We are all literally the same, and
Yes.
a lot of times in church culture and gospel music as well, it could feel like, okay, y'all have the answer and y'all got it all together. And it's like, no, we are all the same, trying to figure out this thing called life. The only difference is I acknowledge that there was a savior that came to take the weight of sin off of my back because he died for it. But it doesn't mean that I don't go through the same things that everybody else goes through. It just means that I have been introduced to the hope of it all, which is Jesus Christ. So the influence, I hope people are uplifted. We need as much
Mhm.
positivity as possible.
We
And let
do.
me tag this in. That's why I love your podcast because um, it invites conversation. It allows people to think and find themselves in the journey. It allows us to say, wait a minute, if she got through that, I can get through that too. A lot of people don't talk because they feel like they're the only ones. And what your podcast does, it says, no, girl, no guy, whoever's watching, we've all been through this. We've all felt it, and there's a
Yes.
hope on the other side. You're gonna get through this. So that's why I appreciate you, and that's why I continue to sing gospel music. I hope that's what people get out of the music we put out as well.
Thank you. And with gospel music, with us going through the pandemic, everyone's been in the home for what, 3, 4 years,
Mm,
just about.
yes,
Life changed. Um, like we have social media, we have this AI coming out, we have so many things. What are you going to plan to do to keep up with the futuristic things coming out? Because we still have to have people in touch with God. We still need them to get your type of music and any other gospel music out there. So being creative is it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be tough.
absolutely.
It's gonna be
Absolutely.
tough. So, have you even thought about like what angle you gonna go into as far as like keeping up, especially for our youth? They
Yeah,
need it really, really bad.
they do. This is an interesting question. You ask such amazing questions. So I stand in the middle. I'm not ashamed to say, I like we said earlier, I'm 40. And so I think we stand as bridges to like the baby boomers and to the Gen Zers, right? We know what it's like to grow up without cell phones. You just had to be
Yeah.
outside
Yeah.
and you play with your friend. You knew everybody's phone number. I don't know anybody's phone number now. Um,
Me either.
and so we came out of that, but then we still have a connection to Gen Z, like TikTok and Instagram and all of these things. And so personally, it's a little bit tough because I feel like it's just getting faster. Every week
Yeah.
there's something else, like, there's AI and we're talking about job security for a lot of people. Like there may be machines taking people's jobs and all of this angst, you know. So I don't know if I am concerned about keeping up. I'm definitely surrounding myself with younger people who can, like, you need to be on TikTok, girl, or you need to be on whatever. Okay, fine. Snapchat. I was about to say the chat snap. I said, I ate it. So I surround myself with young people, but it is a bit overwhelming for me to try to keep up. I'm not the best technologically, as we saw earlier. But um, I think there's something about Holy Spirit, if I can talk about for a minute. The whole we talk about gospel music and Jesus and God in our faith, but what Jesus said when he left, he was like, I'll leave you with a helper, a Holy Spirit that'll help to guide you and inform you, to help you to, okay, Lord, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? I'm feeling a little out of sorts, misaligned. We have God inside of us that can help us make these decisions, even to the point
Yes.
of activity. God is the creator of the heavens and the earth. Why not consult with the creator about anything creative? So, in the places where I lack, or I'm not as great technologically, or I don't know the new trends, surround myself with a community of people who do, and then consult with the creator. Like, what is it that you want your people to know? And give me the strategy, the tools to implement that. So I lean heavily, and I hope it doesn't sound too like Bible thumpy for people.
No, you're good.
Okay, but I lean heavily on God to illuminate and to give me revelation on, this is your music. I'm your child. Tell me how you want to do this. Why wouldn't I look at the instruction manual of the one who created me, to figure out how to walk this thing called life, even to the point of being creative in avenues of music and dance and drama, whatever it is that everybody who's watching does. Consult with God on it. He'll give you answers, or he'll put you in connection with community of people who can get you what you need. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Yes.
Mhm.
So in a world that sometimes feels divided, how do you believe gospel music can contribute to unity and understanding amongst like different cultures and beliefs?
Ooh, you cut me deep. I just love responding to your questions, just like, ooh, but it really does. It really does. Because I get the awesome opportunity to serve at my home church, which is Trinity Church in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. And it is a multicultural church filled with not just white, black, Hispanic. We have Asian, we have, I mean, Australia, all kinds of people. Beautiful. But it gets difficult when we start dealing with things that happen in culture. So we're not the same. So there
Mm,
are things that
no.
affect me that may not affect my brothers and sisters that I worship with every single week. So if I'm honest, it got really difficult in 2020 to navigate COVID and people's different ideologies on that, mask or no mask, vaccine, no vaccine. Even in the church, we had to have these conversations. George Floyd happened in 2020. And
Mhm.
so, not everybody's comfortable talking about that. And not everybody's comfortable with us not talking about that. So, dealing with that. The election was in 2020. And so we got all kinds of differing
True.
views. So I've gotten really comfortable and compassionate um, for different types of people and different types of thinking. I have someone who I serve alongside who I absolutely love, and he said, it's better to be like-hearted instead of like-minded. Because if we're like-hearted, we want the same outcome, but we can approach it from different mindsets. And so it's hard having tough conversations. It's hard. Gospel music seeks to gather, but it's a very specific kind of music. There's a debate, an ongoing debate between
Yes.
music and CCM music. CCM music is contemporary Christian music, which is predominantly white. Gospel is predominantly black. And so people are trying to merge these things to say, hey, we are one big kingdom and we need to celebrate one another. I may not understand what you're saying. I may not even like your music, but I love you. And so if I love you, I'm going to love what you love and I'm going to like what you like, or I just love seeing you get your life, from the music that you love. And hopefully it will be reciprocated. So I think hard conversations, honest conversations, not avoiding conversations, helps us to be unified. And hopefully gospel music, people can find themselves no matter who you are, where you are, you can find yourself in gospel as well. So yeah, I don't
That
know
is
how
so.
to solve all the,
No, you did good. You did good.
I
That
don't
is
know.
so true. So with following that, I've listened to your song. I decided,
Mhm.
and I love it. And with the questions that I asked you, it actually equals up to your song. Your song is I decided to follow Jesus. That's
Mhm.
what most people need to follow for us to find our solutions, to hear him, feel him, let him guide us and everything. And these are the things that you are mentioning in your song that you want people to understand at because that's what you decided to do. And now you have a song that you want everyone else to decide to follow Jesus because it's it's our peace is
Yeah,
where we need to be for us to be able to get to where we got to go and
absolutely.
get through the things that we are going through. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you for this song and what inspired you to even create something so beautiful.
Oh my God. I could just hug you. You're just you're so sweet. You're the kind of person. And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think for I started with the verse, in which I laugh now, but I usually find myself like, okay, something's happening. That's literally the first line of the song. Like something is happening. You know how you can sometimes feel a tension in the
Mhm.
culture. We felt it in 2020 for sure, but right now, and I don't want to put my feelings on everybody else, but there's a groaning in the earth. There's like just more environmental things and earthquakes. And here in Dallas, it's been 1,000 degrees for like 1,000 days. Like it's just
Mhm.
stuff happening. And so the first line of the song came, something's happening. Yes, the time's drawing nigh. Can you feel it? Yeah, you feel it. You know how they say, Lord, please show us a sign. Can you
Mhm.
see it? Yeah, we see it.
Mhm.
And so as believers, we have a blueprint in the word of God that if you read it, and sometimes it's very tough. So I don't want to make it seem like it's easy to read the Bible. But thank God for resources that help it make it a little bit easier. But this is in the Bible. The Bible talks about wars and rumors of wars. It talks
Yes.
about earth, shaking. It talks about seasons not being able to be recognizable. And so we have a blueprint. I just want people to know that there's a hope. And I have decided this is what works for me. I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. But I've decided to follow Jesus. And I want to say this, which may be a little bit weird for people. I love Jesus. I think that Jesus is the savior of the world. I think that he is God in man form. I have all these beliefs about Jesus, but I think we do Jesus a disservice just to worship him and to kind of think that he's this thing out here and not this person inside of us that has given us the same kind of power and access. Jesus said, greater things you will do. So Jesus is not
Yes.
just to be marveled at and worshiped all day, but he's like, invite me into your life so that I can move through you as well. You can do the stuff that I did, if not great.
Yes.
So the song is not, just an homage to Jesus, but like I've decided to follow him, his ways, and how he forgave and how he turned the other cheek. My God, I'm still working
Mm.
on how he loved his enemies and how he healed the sick. I want to do all of that stuff, all of that supernatural cool stuff. And he invites us to do that. And so that's what the song talks about. I've decided to follow Jesus, and it's dope to do. You don't have to be
Yes.
you don't have to be, you can do it the way he gave it to you to do, with your tattoos, with your background, with your whatever it is, wherever you find yourself, there is an availability that Jesus gives you, an invitation for you to be him in the earth. So that's the message of the song.
So tell me, well, not really tell me. I want you to sing your favorite verse in that song.
Oh, my favorite verse. It's the breakdown of the song. So it says, it's like I'm swimming upstream. I can't go with the flow because the flow's low. Low living in the fast lane. I go slow. Switching lanes, playing games. You'll never grow, no. And it ain't about what you feel. Because what you feel changes every day. It ain't real. So the only thing that I stand on is the rock. He's the key to every lock. And then it goes into the chorus. I've decided to follow Jesus, to follow Jesus, to follow Jesus. I've decided to follow Jesus, to follow Jesus, to follow Jesus. Let the church say, hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Yes, yes. That's my favorite. That's my favorite verse and favorite chorus. Because sometimes I feel that way. It's like culture is doing this and it feels like I'm swimming upstream. I can't go with the flow because the flow's low. It's like low living in the fast lane. I go slow. Like I'm not trying to grind for nothing, Yvette. I don't feel like we have to grind. I feel like
Girl.
I feel like we should work hard. I feel like we should be good stewards over what God has given us. But I don't have to force myself into any door. He opens up the door. He gives
Yes.
relationships. I'm not, you sleep when you're dead. No, if I don't sleep, I'm going to die. I'm going to bed.
Girl.
I'm going to rest.
Mhm.
And so going against the grain of culture that says you got to grind it out, you got to work, you got to, you should be working all the time. When the Father rested on the seventh day, not because he was tired, but to give us a blueprint of how to live. So I can't go with the flow because the flow's low. Low living in the fast lane, I go slow. Switching lanes, playing games, you'll never grow. And it ain't about that's my
Mhm.
favorite. It's not about what you feel. A lot of people are led by their feelings and they live life from their
Yeah.
feelings. You only live once.
Emotional.
If I did everything I felt like doing, many people would not be alive.
No.
Like if I did everything I felt like doing, I would kill myself. So I can't, it's not about what you feel because what you feel changes every day. It ain't real. So the only thing that I stand on is the rock. He's the key to every lock.
Mhm. And
That's
he
it.
gets us through it all, okay?
Oh, yes, all of it.
Oh, but sometimes, even though God will put us through something and we're trying to find our path and our way, we still got to do the work. And
Talk.
and a lot of times people want to be in a still position and think he's just supposed to work a miracle because you're staying still. You got to help him be able to help you. So
Talk.
that and you got to help you to be able to move forward. And that's where a lot of people just, they really don't understand it. But it's going to be an ongoing cycle. We're always going to go through a storm. We're always going to go through many things. It's just the fact that you need to look at that you got through it and you're leveling up each time. We're leveling up every minute of the day. And the fact that he's guiding us and he is contributing to our lives every day to wake us up and say, I gave you breath again today, do it again.
Ooh,
You know, we
let the
got to,
church say amen. Pass the offering
amen.
bucket. Pass it. It's time.
Yes, yes. And people got to realize that for real, Naya. We
Absolutely.
living in different times where we need to be closer and not distant.
Yes. Yes. We were created for connection. We were
Yes.
created for connection and community. And I know, as you were talking about the pandemic, it did a number on us, the isolation, and it had different effects on different people. But you're right. With every revolution, of the sun, with every resolution, with every other opportunity to wake up again, it's like God saying, okay, boo, here we go. You got some more in you. I got a plan for this
Mhm.
day, but you have to work with me. I'm not gonna, to all of my, and granted, they're very different times, but to all my single friends out there, he ain't coming to the house. You got to get out. You got to help him. You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Exactly.
I'm waiting on my husband. Okay, but you got to go. You got to be seen. Go
Yes, you
allow him
gotta
to
be seen. You gotta take care of you too.
talk.
You can't just jump into something and think it's right when you ain't right. Cause look, you gonna mess around and get whatever spirit you carrying at that moment. You gonna get one on the
You
other
could
side
be
in a human form.
in human form. My grandmother used to say, water seeks its own level. And so
Yes.
if you want better, be better. You get what you
Mhm.
attract. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so, oh gosh, you're talking right. But yes, to take care of yourself, put one foot in front of the other, to be aware of the breath of God that all of us are breathing right now. We are all on borrowed breath. None of, some people need assistance and all of that, but for the most part, it's like we've been given this gift. It is a
Yeah.
gift for us to steward and for us to make this world better than when we got here. And yeah, we got to help him. He's like, I
We
can't do
do.
it. I'm God. You're my representation in the earth. So we
Mhm.
let's partner in this. Let's get it done. You're absolutely right.
Yes. So tell me, what's your next single?
Ooh, what's the next single? That's a great question. So I believe we're debating right now, and that's the only reason why I haven't said it yet. We're debating that song that I told you about, that nostalgic kind of song.
Yeah.
Um, we are about to finish production on that. But we have a couple more in the can as well. And let me let you in on this. A lot of these we wrote these a couple of years ago. When I say we, I work with my husband, Roy Cotton. And so we've written a lot of these songs back in the day, and now we're able to release them as singles. And so it's been a long journey up until this point. But I don't know. I don't know. We don't even, we're literally being led by Holy Spirit to roll it out. We put out three. We want to put out another one within the next month. We don't know which one it's going to be, but hopefully y'all will stay tuned and follow us and, you know, enjoy the music. But we're on all the streaming platforms if you want to check out what we've already put out thus far. But I don't know. I might have to send you, if we're in between two ideas, I might send them to you and be like, if that what
Okay.
you think, what should it be? Uh, so you might
Okay.
have to help us choose,
So, so how can people follow you?
So I'm Naya Cotton on Instagram. I'm at Naya Cotton or Naya Cotton on Facebook as well. Naya A Cotton, I believe, on all the different the platforms. Now, the chat snap and the
Just
Twitter,
that.
the Snapchat and Twitter. I'm trying, y'all. But Instagram and Facebook, that's my jam. And I talked briefly earlier about the Whole Tone, which is a resource that I give for people who want to not just learn how to sing, but learn how to communicate with people. Because any and everybody can sing. But if people are not leaving, seeing themselves or leaving better or feeling encouraged, then it's all for naught. So I teach that with a curriculum called the Whole Tone, and that's available on thewholetone.com. So you can check me out there. But hit me up on Instagram and Facebook. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
before we end this interview, are there any specific Bible verses or spiritual teaches that that resonate with you often to find your way through your music?
Oh, one of my favorite verses. Oh, there's so many. One of my favorites um, says that he that began a good work in you is faithful to perform it even into the day of Jesus Christ. So
Oh.
basically, if he started it, he's going to end it. So if you're not
Mhm.
at the end yet, if you don't see it happening yet, it's still time. There's still time. If he put something inside of you, a gift, a talent, he's going to see it to the fullness. And so you don't have to back to grinding and all of that. We're going to work hard. We're going to do what God says, but he's given all of us a gift that he wants to see completed. So that's one of my favorite verses. Um, but that our deepest fear quote by Marianne Williamson is one that I live my life by. It says, "Who are you to be?" You ask yourself, "Who are you to be? Smart, intelligent, gorgeous. Who are you not to be? You're a
Yeah,
child of God. You're playing
you
small.
better say it.
Does not serve the world." And then back to the quote: "If when we let our light shine, it gives other people permission to do the same." And so, yeah, don't be afraid of your light. Don't be afraid of being great. The world is waiting for it. Don't play small. We don't know how much time we have. Each of us, like
Right.
life, we've seen it. Life is fleeting. We have friends that have gone to be with the Lord at young ages, and there it seems to be no rhyme or reason. So what are we waiting for? Even
Mhm.
with me feeling like I'm number two and I'm not good enough. And then something happened when I turned 40, and even 30. Like, no, wait a minute. You've put this inside of me to do. I gotta do it. And when I don't, there's that thing that calls to me, like, girl,
Mhm.
you got more in you. So put
You
it in the
do.
earth, put it in the earth, and that'll be a legacy. So yeah, be great, everybody.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed this interview. I enjoyed talking to you. You're such a beautiful woman. I really appreciate you so much.
You as well. You are absolutely wonderful. And if I can, I speak every open door, favor, more access, more influence to you because you've been a great steward over what God has given you. Get your hands ready to receive because people are just, favor out the woodworks, connections
Thank
because
you.
you've been faithful. So we're all very grateful that you said yes and that you invite us in to process and to heal and to grow.
Girl, look, we need it. We need a safe space for us to be able to be ourselves and be, so transparent enough for us to help someone else. This is my form of my ministry.
Mm. And you do it so well. Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Make sure y'all listen to I Decided by Nia Cotton. You guys will not be disappointed. Even her other music is bomb. So y'all might as well just go ahead and do a mixed playlist, put it
Mix
all
it.
together. Just mix it all together. Well, thank you so much and good night, everyone. And make sure you follow and subscribe Life Her Podcast. Thank you. Bye bye.